What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Unplayable. We've got another tier list for Star Wars Unlimited. I'm D-House here with the Three Stooges ready to rank some cards. How you guys feeling? You ready?
I'm ready.
It wasn't until I got called a stooge, but
Mike, what are we rating today?
We're taking a look at all of the villain rares in the set. So we're breaking it up into 3 videos. We're going to do the rares, but we're going to do the villains and then the heroes and then the neutral cards. So
I think this is pretty spicy. I think there's some spicy cards in these rare slots.
We're going to have some disagreements for sure.
We always disagree. But somehow everybody in the YouTube comments always agree with us and they never disagree. So it's
never
fun. Are there any ground rules we have to state? Limited, constructed,
No,
just do whatever you want.
Again, this is the game where the points don't matter. And
okay, good. Am I allowed to wear a hat indoors for this video, or is that a rule?
You're
that's
the only one with a hat,
strict no.
This is a deep cut for our audience that also watches Lorcana, but it would have been hilarious if you put Mufasa on there and it just started in the D tier.
That'd be good. All right, let's get into it. So we're gonna read off the cards. If you've never seen one of our tier lists, we're gonna read off the card. We're all gonna secretly rank it. We're gonna reveal it, and then we'll argue about who's wrong and who's right, and have some fun.
Perfect.
Let's dive into blue villain. First up, we've got Dell Meeko. It's a 3-cost ground unit. Again, blue villain. He's a 3/3 Imperial Trooper with Restore 1, and says each event an opponent plays costs 1 more.
Okay.
Costs 1 more. All right. We're locking in our answers.
Actually, hang on. I'm changing mine. I went one way. I think it's this, honestly.
All right.
I know what you're gonna say.
Let's see it.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow, Mike. So we got B plus, a B, a C, and a D.
I don't like this card at all.
Wow, Mike, talk to us, man.
It's just like it feels so slow. The stats don't feel that good. It's like a tech card against very specific decks that are trying to play very specific events on curve, but otherwise I don't think like a 3/3 Restore 1 for 3 is like good enough.
Sure. I think that it feels kind of good into Sabines or Bobas, because Sabines are trying to play Metal Ceremony for 0, so it makes it cost 1, or if Surprise Strike now costs 3 and Heroic Sacrifice costs 2. So
4 cost.
4. Yeah, 4 cost. So I think sliding this into a blue Iden control deck feels fine. I mean, it's a 3/3 for 3, so the stats it helps you restore, and it throws a wrench in their plan of playing Metal Ceremony on curve, or not on curve, but on turn 3 or 4 to gain some extra experience.
I feel like you just play this and then they ECL their K2 into it, and then that's it.
I've tried to put this into so many decks, and it's always my last cut, because I think it should in theory be good against Leia or Sabine, but I think it suffers from the same thing like Consortium Star Viper does, is if you don't ECL this in, it's not really getting the value. But if it had one little tweak, it would be in almost every one of my decks. If it was Restore 2, I would play it. If it was a 3/4, I would absolutely play it. Every piece of it is pretty good. It just doesn't quite do what you're wanting it to, though.
But it always requires an answer not always, but for the most part requires.
But it's so easy to answer is the thing.
Yeah. 3 is cake.
Aren't you okay with that at 3 costs though?
No, I don't know.
I guess the question is would you rather on your this turn play Power of the Dark Side and remove one of their characters?
Power of the Dark Side every time.
Play Del Meeko. So I can understand the argument.
You're always running 3 Power of the Dark Side. This is number 4, 5, 6 Power of the Dark Side.
No, come on. There's better 3-cost cards that you play.
I've tried to put this in a lot of decks, and it always is the one that I just cut right at the end, because it just doesn't do what you want it to.
Yeah.
Hey, video game boys, isn't this guy married to your girl that does the thing in the video game?
No, they're definitely not married.
Are you sure?
Absolutely not.
But they're part of the same crew.
He's Inferno Squadron, but.
Are you sure?
Why are you the one that's questioning us about this?
I listened to an audiobook recently, and they name dropped. So I don't know, Mike. I want to fact check you on that one.
I don't think they got married in the video game.
I didn't say that video game. But I don't know.
Maybe in some book.
Someone out there can fact check me. Let's lock in a score.
Or fact check me. I don't know.
There we go. Well, my point was that she loves the Iden
It's
deck.
not in the movie, or it's not in the video game, but it says years later they did end up getting married.
Boom!
Wow. Look at that.
Somebody
I'm gonna cut
clip
this part
that
out of the
moment.
video so the tea house is still
Next,
wrong.
you putting it as a B plus. Let's talk about that
Outlord
for a
on your
second.
video game characters. That's right. We can end the video now. That was the S
Yeah,
tier
GG,
moment.
everybody.
All right, let's lock in the score. We had 2 Bs, a C, and a D.
I'm
I mean,
fine
that
with
sounds like
C.
a C to me.
I think a C is fine.
All right, top of C.
Look, I'm batting 100%
I can-
right now.
Yeah,
It's
I
going to
think
be
so.
quickly bumped down from top of C, I'll tell you that much.
All right, moving on. We've got Gideon Hask. He is also a blue villain. He comes in at 5. He's 5 power, 5 health, Imperial Trooper, and an ability when an enemy unit is defeated, give an experience token to a friendly unit. Drop it in. This guy was not married to Iden, just so you know, Mike.
Thank you so much for clarifying that.
You learned that from an IO book too.
You ready?
I think so.
All right, let's see it.
Hey, 3 A's and a
A,
B plus.
B plus.
Nice.
I'll
Don't
go
worry,
with A.
I'll
Alright.
agree on A.
I was
So
thinking B plus actually too.
I watched some of the tournament in London on Twitch, and there was an Iden player that was running this dude, and
Yeah.
he got so much value. Even the tempo loss of playing this on turn 5 against like an aggro deck, and then like next turn just wiping a bunch of stuff, giving XP to him and Iden, and then healing. It was just insane. So I was like, yeah, this guy's pretty sick.
It has like a win the game ceiling for sure. But
Yeah.
like when I think of like what I would put in A, it's like it's going in every one of my blue villain decks. This guy doesn't quite make it, but in Iden in particular, he's fantastic and can absolutely win games for 5 resources. So for me, it's top of B.
This guy with the well-timed overwhelming barrage is so good.
Yeah.
Like just, oh man,
Definitely.
I love it. All right, so it's an A. Yeah.
It's an A.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I'm good with that.
You're fine with that. You've put A.
I know.
But his
I'm
heart
like,
said B plus with me.
Yeah, I was between A and a B because I feel like this is like a good card now, but I feel like it probably is one of the
Gets
first
worse.
things to get cut, like when a better
Ooh.
5-drop comes
Future.
out.
I don't know if I agree with that because I think we're more likely to get like things that would hit more units because right now we don't have a ton. So I don't know.
So he
We'll
gets
see.
better
Maybe.
when we have more board wipe type.
I think so.
Maybe.
Sure.
Like
All right,
it-
next
it's
up.
just like it's just a big stat stick, which is like
Yeah.
that's cool, that's good, but I don't
Yeah.
know.
All right, moving on to Count Dooku, 7 cost blue villain. He's a 5/4 Force Separatist Sith. Comes in with shielded, and when played, you may defeat a unit with 4 or less remaining HP. Lock it in.
All right.
A plus S.
S.
I like
All
this
right.
more than you
Wow.
guys.
Convince us to put it in S.
Wow.
Convince us to put
it's
it
just-
in S.
It does everything you want a 7 cost villain blue unit to do, right? Kill something, has shielded, has 5 attack. I still like it as much as I liked it before. Like what's bad about Count Dooku? What are the downsides?
I don't know.
He dies
I've been,
to another Count Dooku, I guess, but
I think he's. I don't know. I've been playing a lot of control, and I almost always feel like I never have a spot to play this guy. But it might just be the way I'm playing the decks. So
I think he's very good. I'm not advocating for cutting him. I think he just competes with Vader at the 7 slot.
yeah,
And
but what if you're not playing green?
yeah, that's. I mean,
well,
that's
then
fine.
you're not playing
But-
the game, right?
Oh my gosh.
But then you're not playing
true.
overwhelming
That is very not
barrage. And what are you doing?
Well, aren't you the one that likes red Iden better than green Iden?
Oh, that's
Who
me.
ta-
That's
I'm talking to you,
Jim.
David.
That's me.
I don't have a strong Iden opinion because she's a video game.
Except that she's married.
But in my,
Yeah, right.
You have a very strong opinion on that.
in my red Iden build, it's only a 2 copy. Like I don't use all 3 for Dooku, but I'm still happy with it in the late game.
I do think he's very strong. I think I don't see a lot of him being played. That's the weird thing. Even how strong he is. I don't know. I think he's good though. I'd go A or S. I'd go A or S.
All right. Well,
I feel like a lot
there
of
were
times
more
it, like
A's than S's, so we'll put it in A.
You can put Dooku
but he's
above
definitely
Hask.
above Gideon.
Yeah, you can do that. That's fine. All right.
I'm glad that's okay with you.
Oh, he's
because I have
way
control
above
over the
Gideon.
tier list.
Wait,
so.
who's Dooku married to, David?
Your mom. All right, moving on.
Got him. Got him.
Okay, moving on. For our last blue villain rare. This will be a fun one. Search your feelings. We've got an event, guys. It's innate, whatever that means. Search your deck for a card and draw it.
Innate
Then shuffle
means
your
that
deck.
it's part of its ability inherently. Just in
Yeah,
case you didn't know what
thanks.
the word innate meant.
Thanks. Thanks, Mr. Webster.
All right.
I know what Mike's putting.
Yep. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you changed it. You had
did.
D. You're going to unplayable.
you know me too well.
All right, let's see it.
I'm rolling one. Hey, I would have been if I didn't say anything. That'd be 2
Yeah,
Ds.
that would have been 2 Ds.
Why is it unplayable?
So tutors in card games are typically really good, but where this game has the back and forth actions, it's typically like too slow to get that like tutor feel. But I think this card will be good in the future. Like if there's ever a control meta, I want this card in my deck to be able to pull exactly what you need to counter what they're doing. Right now, that's not the thing, but at any point, if the meta gets control, I'm probably considering putting 1 or 2 in there.
Sure.
Yeah, unplayable might be a little harsh because I think even in like a sideboard, if you're up against control, it's probably okay. I know, like bringing up the back and forth action things, like you can't use what you picked up immediately before your opponent can react to what you picked up. So if you use this to grab the card that is going to wreck your opponent, they see it coming, so they're not going to overextend into whatever you grabbed.
You don't reveal it though.
Oh, that's
They
true.
don't-
You don't
you don't-
reveal
they
it,
don't know
but
what you
I
grab.
feel like if you're a smart player, you'd kind of just like,
You can
well,
figure
no.
it out.
But then there's mind games. Did he bring out Super Laser Blast or did he bring out something else?
Yeah,
Relentless.
that's true.
Unplayable trash, guys. Let's move on.
Oh my gosh, that's not true. It's unplayable currently, but trash.
Okay, maybe it gets better in future sets if there's specific combos, but then it just gets outdone by better cards too. So I don't know.
My game plan in my Thrawn deck that sucks is that turn 7 you outmaneuver, so you just exhaust everything on one of their sides of the field, and then you play this for 4 to grab your Super Laser Blast. Turn 8 you get to drop it and wipe everything.
I do think that's cool. Like that is a cool play.
Yeah.
I had to mention it.
But then
'cause that's
what?
the only use case I have for it right now.
That's fair.
All right, moving on. Let's go to green. Green villain. We've got Rook.
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 Let's
Sorry, I
go.
didn't
As
catch
Thrawn
that.
says it. I've been sick this week. All right, it's 5 cost ground unit, 3/6 Imperial with shielded. When this unit deals combat damage to a non-leader unit while attacking, defeat that unit.
Are you typing out unplayable right now? What is happening?
Here we go. A B A.
B. How can this be a B?
We almost
Coach?
agreed again.
I don't think I play this unless I have ECL. Typically, that's why I put it as a B. I don't know. I haven't played a ton with this card. It has a high ceiling, don't get me wrong, but also like I just am gonna answer it. So I like it. I'm gonna probably put it in a lot of decks, but it also has not made the cut on a lot of my lists. If I have ECL, this card I love, especially like ECL for control.
here's my argument though.
Yeah,
He's
let's hear it.
in green.
Yeah.
So if you are playing green, you are playing ECL.
That's if your leader's green, maybe not.
Sure. Yeah, you're right.
But I do like the card. It has shielded, so it's hard to take out. If you do have ECL, you got the cool like ambush shielded sort of interaction there where you can hit something and then put the shield on afterwards. It has the potential to take out like 3 things in that scenario, which is pretty strong. I would say like I don't really love this against aggro because it does feel a little slow if you're not playing ECL, but against almost any other deck, it just like kills whatever their biggest thing is in the ground, and that is pretty good.
But so does Vanquish.
Yeah,
On
but
the
this
spot.
leaves you with a 3/6.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you also have to use your ECL to do that, where Vanquish just does it.
Sure.
So I don't know. I just like the upside
That's
more.
why you
of
have
Gideon,
both.
so that's why I put it at B.
All right.
All right, so A.
Well, we
think
did
so.
get 3 A's and B's. So.
We got 3 A's. Yeah.
Is it better than Gideon or worse than Gideon?
I say worse.
I don't know if I agree with that, but
I also
They're
don't
close.
think I agree with that. I
They're-
think he's better than Gideon.
a little different.
I think Gideon
Hard
sees a
to
lot
say.
more play than Rook. You see Rook in a lot of sideboards, but I think Gideon's in every main board of a blue villain deck.
Is that true?
I think so. I'm the one who watches Twitch streams all day on Saturdays while you
I
guys
don't think that's
Oh
true.
my gosh.
care for your families.
Whoops.
Sorry, I'm under the influence of Dayquil right
My
now.
bad.
You put it wherever you want. If you guys disagree, then
I'll
just
put it there.
above
It's fine.
Gideon.
It's fine.
Okay. We can go back. We can review this stuff too at the end.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Next up, we got Emperor's Royal Guard. This is a 3-cost ground unit, green villain, 3/4. And while you control an official unit, Mike, what's that next sentence?
Yeah, I still can't read it. It's so
This
weird.
unit gains Sentinel.
What?
I know. Isn't that crazy?
That's
Mike
nuts.
never remembers this guy has Sentinel.
Yeah,
Even though he's
never.
literally guarding Palpatine in the picture, but it's fine. And then while you control Emperor Palpatine as a leader or unit, this unit gets +0/+1. All right.
All right.
I'm
Cheating
ready.
on this one.
Okay. A.
Okay.
Mike.
So I was gonna do something similar, except I think he's an A, but he's an S if you're playing Palpatine.
You think he's an A without Palpatine?
I think he's still an A without Palpatine.
Because he.
Okay,
like,
there are
very, very specific decks that you put him in.
right. Like Green Boba doesn't play this because you're not playing officials.
Right.
But
Right.
if the deck has officials in it at all, this is immediate. This is like the first card you put in.
I don't know if I agree with that either. Because Palpatine's not a unit yet. Like, we're assuming it's going to come eventually as a unit.
Okay,
right?
but
No, there is a
There's
Hey,
a
Admiral
Palpatine
done.
unit.
Red
P-
belt, done.
Piet, Yularen, even the regional governor, like you've got all these like 2-cost
Mhm.
officials.
Yeah.
So on curve, this comes in next, and all of a sudden you have a Sentinel. They're not killing your Piet, then obviously all of a sudden you're ambushing at 6.
Yeah.
Oswald.
Like, I like
Years.
it, but it's so much better as a 3/5 than a 3/4.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've heard a lot of people say Boba Fett is an S tier legendary because he's the only 3-cost 3/5 in the game. And I'm like, that's true unless you're playing Royal Guard and you're playing Palpatine,
Right.
because then you have a 3-cost 3/5. So if Boba's only an S tier because he's a 3/5, then if you're playing Palpatine and you have Royal Guard, then Royal Guard should also be a S tier since he's a 3/5, right?
I don't think Boba's only an S tier because he's a 3/5, but it definitely helps. But I agree with you. I think in Palpatine, this is probably closer to an S than an A.
Yeah.
But
But, like-
outside of Palpatine, a 3/4 Sentinel is good, but the condition is not necessarily the easiest to meet.
Agreed.
Sure.
Like, it's
That's
pretty-
But you're
pretty
not
easy to
playing you're
kill
not playing
those.
this guy in a deck that doesn't have officials in it,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Like I remember playing a lot of Tarkin with this guy.
I've seen Maddie from KTOD put this in his Vader sideboard so that you can ECL it into things just because it's a 3/4. So that's kind of cool too. There aren't
Sure.
that many 3/4s even in this game.
I mean, should you
For
just
3.
use Homestead Militia at that point?
I think that's in there too.
Okay.
But yeah, maybe. You can get this with Vader though, is the upside with this.
Oh, true. Well,
For sure.
yeah. Villain cards.
Yeah.
I dig
So
it.
I mean,
All right, so we got
I'm happy
4
putting it
A's
in A.
with a /C.
Yeah, I'm happy
Okay.
putting it in A. I really, really like
All
the
right.
card.
Yeah.
And I think it's
better than Rook.
Rook, yeah.
I
And if-
personally think it's better than Gideon, but
And if you
Palpatine, yes, of course.
I probably agree.
want to play mind games against Mike, if you're sitting across from him in a tournament,
Yeah, just play this and I will always forget that it has Sentinel.
always play this. If it's in your sideboard, just get it in as soon as you can, because he will not remember.
I will misplay every time.
All right, next up, we've got Relentless. It's a space unit that costs 9 resources, everybody. It's an 8, an Imperial vehicle capital ship, and the first event played by each opponent. Each round loses all abilities. I just caught that each opponent each round for the first time for Twin Suns. That's
Twin
really
Suns,
funny.
baby.
Yeah.
I'm also happy we convinced Mike that Emperor Royal's Guard is not a C.
I just think
He
it's
did put
so much
C.
worse outside of Palpatine, but it evens out to an A in my brain.
Some of these are really hard to evaluate because
They
you
are.
like they don't go in every deck, but the deck that they do go into,
It's really
you
good.
know,
Yeah.
yeah, like this one right here. Like, how do you
Just went
rate
for it.
this?
Oh,
Wow.
SABB.
yeah.
Sab.
You can't convince
SABB.
me this card isn't like a game-winning card.
I don't disagree with that. I think the only reason I put it at B is because it costs 9.
It does cost 9, but it's in
That's
the color
it.
that ramps.
Yes, for sure. It just feels like a lot of games that, or when I have Relentless in the deck, I'm working really hard to get Relentless on the table, and I have to do other things at 9 than play Relentless.
Yeah.
But I still love it. It's just I feel like the cost just brings it down a peg for me.
This is a control mirror card,
Yeah,
right? Like,
control
you're
mirror
not
card,
playing
and then you
this
like
in
lock the
anything
game
else.
out, and then you win.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, Devastator just kills it on the spot.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
it's like if we're playing that like capital ship versus capital ship, like if it had more of
I
like,
mean,
an
like
on-play, I
you
would
play your
love this
Relentless, they play their Devastator, you play your Devastator and kill their Devastator. Like,
Or Avenger.
I Dooku your Dooku, you Dooku mine.
card. Right. I mean, yeah, then we're just in that back and forth. But
Yeah.
if I'm playing this card at 9 and still safe, I was probably winning that game already. But I'm thrilled with this ability when it's out because it's a really powerful ability. It's just
yeah, it's like if Super Laser Blast is in the game, like ramping into this before they get to the ability to play Super Laser Blast is insane.
Yeah, true.
for sure.
you just like saying like I won this turn.
Yeah,
What you're saying.
basically.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe I'm too excited about it, but that's where I'm at.
No, I every time I'm in Green Villain, I want to play Relentless. I just feel like it doesn't happen as often as I want it to.
Maybe
So-
it's really like an A card because I do agree it's not an every matchup card.
It's one specific matchup.
It's one specific
It's
matchup, but
control
it's like
versus
probably the
control.
best card in that matchup.
Yeah. That's why it's hard for me to put, like, I think like you said, the card and like wins you the game, but like I don't know. I guess it's not only control versus control. If you're playing like Boba mid range and you throw this in your deck against a control deck, it can be really impactful too.
Yeah, it's just like an anti-control card, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, but you're not playing in aggro.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you're never getting to 9 against like Sabine or Leia, right?
I do
So-
like putting a copy in Boba. That makes sense. I dig it.
All right, so A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
that's
I'm
fine.
down.
I think the
than
consensus
Rook.
is
Put
that
it
it
pretty high
doesn't
in A.
it
We
doesn't
got it.
fit enough decks for it to feel like it's an S tier card.
I think that's appropriate.
Yeah.
I got you.
All
All
right.
right, last Green Villain card is the Emperor's Legion. It's 2-cost event. Return each unit in your discard pile that was defeated this phase to your hand. And what we got?
Wow.
2Bs, 2Ds.
DB. Where
Double
have you
blanks.
seen this played?
In Boba.
Yeah.
I
They
mean,
kill
I've
your
seen-
they-
I've heard of
they-
one.
they-
I've heard of one person playing it, but what's the play, Coach?
They kill your Firespray, you bring your Firespray back and play it again and hit them for 5.
Easy.
Yeah,
Why not
all
just
right.
have another Firespray in hand already?
Sounds like S
I
tier
mean, that
to
would
me.
be great too. But sometimes you don't have the other one in hand.
I think it's anti Super Laser Blast tech, right?
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
So like if
Or
you
OB,
get Super
like a big
Laser-
OB or something like that. Like
Yeah.
there's
Sure.
there's a lot of ways to remove units in this game, and bringing them back is sometimes exactly what you need.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but how often would like I'd just rather this be another unit in my hand as well?
Well, the benefit
depends.
is that it only costs 2, and when you're playing against control, sometimes getting that card advantage is impactful.
Is like
enough.
actually matters. Yeah.
Yeah, but like you're on the back foot when it's being played. That's what I'm struggling with because it's like I have to
So-
wait for my unit to get killed, then I can bring it back to hand, then I can play it again. Like yeah, with
Yeah,
with
like they
Firespray,
spend
makes
their
sense.
entire 8 resources playing Super Laser Blast. You
Yeah.
play this and then play whatever
Play
they
like 3
blasted.
things. 2
And
things.
just like nullify their turn basically.
Hmm.
So it is specific, right? It is a specific tech card against a control meta. I mean, that's a common theme that we're seeing amongst a lot of these cards, right? Especially in blue and green villain. But it is
Which is how they design the game,
I
right?
think it's very good against that strategy.
So it sounds
So-
like it's gonna be a C because there's 2Bs and 2Ds.
It's
Yeah.
it.
I'm totally
Split
fine
right
with
down
that.
the middle.
But I think it's better than Del Meeko
Sure. If
because I really don't like Del Meeko.
I don't like them.
All right, moving on to red. We've got Seven Sisters. She is a ground unit, 5-cost red villain. She's a 3/6 Force Imperial Inquisitor with Saboteur and a sweet little ability. When this unit deals combat damage to an opponent's base, you may deal 3 damage to a ground unit that opponent controls.
Okay, ready?
Ready. AB.
Wow.
I have
Wow,
7
wow,
Bs
wow.
because she's the 7th sister.
Oh,
That's funny.
I'm surprised you guys put A. Convince me why she's an A.
Yeah, why is she good? I think she's.
I played a lot of
Grand
Seventh
Inquisitor.
Sister.
Played a lot of Grand Inquisitor, and it's fun in that deck.
Sure. Yeah, she's good in there.
that is the skew that I have as well.
I think it's good outside of it. There are cards that I would probably replace, but like this isn't much worse than those like really big hitter cards. So it's like I think it's still serviceable in all of those decks. It just may not be your first choice. But then it has a really high ceiling in Grand Inquisitor. So that's why I put A.
Yeah.
I hear that.
Yeah.
She is specifically good in Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah, I guess I didn't even consider her outside of a Grand Inquisitor deck, so I don't know if that's actually if that would change my score.
I think she's generally super mid, and the only reason why she's playable is okay, outside of Grand Inquisitor, like maybe that interaction's cool enough to where she's like decent there. But I think just the fact that she's a force unit and lets you play force throw and force lightning and force choke for cheaper, I guess, gives her value. But otherwise, she feels pretty bad to play on turn 5.
Like the 6 health is nice, but I don't know. It just seems like the game is so fast with ECL and stuff right now. Maybe she fits in the ECL deck. I don't know. I haven't tried that, but
Yeah,
Well, that
can
would
get
go
the
against her
shields, but-
ability.
Well, she's still a saboteur. Like you can still hit a shield unit.
But
You can't-
ECL is ambush.
Yeah, I know,
Well,
but she has
Is that
saboteur.
right?
yeah, but
Like
She
she
defeats-
can defeat shields
a shield.
on a unit.
right. We're arguing two different things. We're just saying like she couldn't use her best ability is that she can hit the base
Right.
and do 3 damage.
Correct.
Right.
They're just saying Saboteur could still get through a shield and a sentinel, and
Which has
so-
come up before in games
Yeah.
I've played.
I think the force text is bigger than most people would give it credit for as well. Like when I'm looking at Rook versus Seventh Sister, like I would almost compare the two just because of the force tag.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know if they're that far off actually. But I don't really like Rook that much, so
We put him at A, so
I know. I don't remember what I rated him. But I
He's a
think I
better
rated him a
ECL
B,
target than
but-
she is for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the force trade is very good. So I don't know. I'm okay putting it in whatever you guys want. But
I say I like it better than Rook.
I think she's a B.
know that's not a consensus, but
I played her a bunch of
Um,
Tarkin, and she felt super mid there.
yeah,
Like, just
that
too
makes
slow.
sense.
yeah.
Hmm.
Even making her like a 4/7, it's like still too slow.
Is she even really that good in Grand Inquisitor? Like it's cute, but like
It feels
is
good
that
wins you the
good?
game
into it feels good into like Sabine Green and stuff to take out Battlefield Marines and stuff after you hit their base.
Sure.
Especially if you're going like aggro.
But
you
like
get damage
what's
on
the
base
like you
and
play
clear
her,
unit.
you
On 5.
use Grand Inquisitor to ready her. Now she's a 3/4. Doesn't she
It's
just get
more
traded
about
into
the
by K2 or
turn.
something?
Well, it's more about the turn that she like Grand Inquisitor comes out. That's when you're dealing 12 damage to their face and 6 damage at least to their units. with
I
this
get
card.
most Grand Inquisitor games I've played never make it to where he flips.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think she's kind of mid.
All right, so are we A or B?
You could put her. You could
I'm
put her
definitely
top of B. That's fine. I think. I again outside of. I do like her. Gosh, I really think she and Rook are very close.
I like her more than Rook, but that's okay.
All right. Well, we'll leave it. Let's leave it at B and then evaluate at the end. Let's keep going. We got Palpatine, 8 cost ground unit, red villain, 6/6 force, Imperial Sith official, overwhelm. When played, deals 6 damage divided as you choose among enemy units.
I don't know if this is the right answer, but I'm putting it.
Same.
Yes.
3 S's and an A. I mean, he's basically
He's an-
overwhelming barrage on a stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a 6/6 attached.
Most of the time when you do overwhelming barrage, it's around 6. Like if you get more than 6, you're getting a lot of really good value. But I feel like more often than not, it's about 6 damage is what you're doing. And he does that, except you're also getting a 6/6 on board with overwhelm, which is sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
He can
one of
hit
my favorite units in the game. He's just so good.
And it has a
Yeah.
force tag.
Does.
Nice.
Yeah.
And official.
Yeah.
For the
Why
one
does that
card
matter,
cares
Mike?
about that.
And he's Palpatine.
Yeah.
For the one card that cares
Palpatine
about
does
that.
exist.
Same
My bad,
card.
don't-
Yeah, I'm fine with S. The only thing that goes against it is just the cost of just in those aggro matchups. Like, do you get to 8? But I think it. Just looking at him, I do agree that the power is there for S.
But this doesn't this doesn't go into aggro decks, and it goes into control decks that do want to get to 8. So if you're not getting to 8, you probably are losing anyway, so it doesn't matter what you have it.
Maybe true.
All right, next up we got Fallen Lightsaber. Got our first upgrade, I believe, of the list. 3 cost. Attached to a non-vehicle unit. If attached unit is a force unit, it gains on attack, deal 1 damage to each ground unit the defending player controls, and it gives +3/+3. What do I want for this? I don't even know. Okay. BBB.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, down the board.
Wow.
Wow, straight
We finally
B's.
did it.
First time
We agreed
ever,
on
I think, in the
something.
history of
All
the
right.
cast.
So let's put it in C.
So when you play it and your guy doesn't immediately die, it feels pretty strong.
Yeah.
But upgrades
Power
in
of the
general,
Dark Side is a card.
They're inherently vulnerable to 2-for-1s.
yes.
I
which is not-
I don't mind it. There's just, if there was a 2-cost force unit that was better than the whatever, the Guardian,
Guardian of the Wills.
then I think this would be more interesting. But because you can't really play it on curve and get value out of it outside of it being +3/+3, then it feels less cool.
Yeah, sure. But when you throw this on a 5th brother and he doesn't die,
Yeah, then it feels real good.
it's sick.
But that's a lot of ifs.
It's nice too because like it doesn't necessarily need the whole force synergy to feel good as well. Like there's enough
No.
cards that like you give +3/+3 and you are feeling great. about
Yeah,
that.
like you want to put this on like a crafty smuggler or something like that, right? Like
Yeah.
that's like the dream. But it still is vulnerable to stuff. And I mean, like you play that on your crafty smuggler and your opponent plays Power of the Dark Side and you're very sad. Or your opponent
You're
plays
right.
Traitorous, you're very sad. Like
Yeah.
it's a little rough.
Yeah. All right, we're on to yellow. We got the big guy, Jabba the Hutt, 4-cost yellow villain ground unit. Underworld Hutt. He's a 2/8. Says each trick event you play costs 1 less. And when played, search the top 8 cards of your deck for a trick event, reveal it, and draw it. Put the other cards on the bottom of your deck in a random order.
I'm gonna take heat for this one.
All right, here we go.
Nice.
CBBD.
It's really interesting. In most games, if there was a 4-cost unit that said, search the top 10 cards of your deck and choose what card you want to draw, it would be insane, right? Like that would be that would be an S tier card in most other games, I feel like. And it's not the case in this game. I mean, even we put B, who put the highest. Why do you think that is?
I think for one, there's a limited number of things that you can like actually get out of his search, and they're generally a bit more situational. And he's also like 2/8 is a lot of stats technically. Like it feels like a lot of stats, but I don't know. Just like 2 attack feels super weak in this game, and I feel like you just have to like work too hard to make this good.
Sure. I've seen some cool mid-range Boba decks that run Jabba. Like you grab a Waylay, you
Mhm.
play the Waylay for 2, ready a resource with Boba, so you're basically playing Waylay for 1. Or like shoot first or something like that.
Yeah,
For free.
I agree. There's cool stuff you can do with him, but I just feel like it's either too situational or too hard to set up, and I don't know. I'm not that excited to like put 2 power on the board and pay 4 for it.
Is it
Yeah.
is it that situational though, since you're immediately getting one of the cards that you're going to just probably immediately play? Like, yeah, they have to have a unit on board if you're grabbing Waylay or shoot first, but like that's not that situational, right?
Yeah, but you have to actually have those in your top whatever
10?
top 10. Is
Top
it
8.
top 10? It's top 8.
Top
right?
8.
Top 8.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Big MySpace guy.
So like if you miss, it feels so bad.
But
I don't know.
Like the 4 slot's not strong. Like that feels like the weakest spot in this game. And so if I'm needing a 4 drop, I'm already putting tricks into my deck naturally. And it's like, yeah, D-House over there can live the entrenched dream and like give it Sentinel and like party on forever. But like even by itself, I agree with you. The 2 attack versus 3 attack is a massive difference.
Yeah, it sucks.
But
I would like to respond.
I do think tricks are good enough in these games that you're naturally putting them in there. Therefore, it's like not a bad thing to try to search for them, and it's not really competing with anything else at 4.
Okay, the most fun you can have playing Jabba is in
There
a Krennic deck.
Oh,
Because you can run Entrench and you can run all these bizarre upgrades and you can Voltron Jabba, and when he gets damaged because he's got a big butt at
Yeah, he
8
gets
health, All of a sudden, he's hitting for 3. Even if you get no upgrades, he's hitting for 3. So you can even use your ISB agents, reveal an event to damage Jabba, turn him in for 1 damage.
You're playing
and you can do
ISB.
3 damage
Get
with
outta here.
Jabba. Boom,
Get outta
boom,
here.
boom, boom. Jabba just like, come on, let's go. Mark my words, Shadows of the Galaxy.
Oh
you
my
know,
God.
I just know Jabba's time is coming.
This
Jabba
card
top
put it
of
on
S
my
tier.
Immediately S tier.
Jabba is S tier.
The cool thing though too, for real, is that Jabba just gets better with more trick cards that come out.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think he has a lot of room to improve.
Yeah.
But like,
So-
if I'm comparing him to like Emperor's Legion Del Meeko versus like Fallen Lightsaber, I'm putting him way closer to the lightsaber than I am Emperor's Legion, personally. But I've not seen my butt get destroyed by a fire spray that's come back from
Bless
the
you.
dead.
Bless you.
Sorry,
One
guys.
more.
3?
They come in 3s.
I'm fine.
It'll
I'm
count.
great.
All right,
So-
where are we putting this guy?
Top of C.
Okay.
Like bottom
Top
of
of
C.
C.
That's okay.
Respect. All right. Do we even need to do the next one?
I know we could just drop it, but we're gonna. I'll
For
at least
those-
read it for our.
Yeah, those who
for
don't know.
our audience. Fett's Firespray. It's a yellow villain, 6 cost, space unit, 5/6. When played, if you control Boba Fett or Jango Fett as a leader or unit, ready this unit. And then action for 2, you can exhaust a non-unique unit. There it is.
All right.
Our second agreement,
Wow.
Just too good.
and this is above.
It's
Yeah, it is.
interesting that the Falcon and the Firespray both come in ready,
I mean,
basically.
Yeah, that is cool.
And
Things that come in ready are so sick.
yeah, they're both S tier. So
Yeah,
too sad.
cheating the
Yeah,
games
let's
of the
keep
rules
going.
is good. Cheating
How
the
much-
rules of the game is good.
How much worse is Boba Fett if he doesn't have Fett's Firespray?
That's a great question. 'Cause you're
And how
doing
much
so
worse
much
is
damage.
Fett's
Definitely
Firespray
worse.
without Boba Fett?
Both.
Yeah.
Oh, way worse. He's like
Yeah, they're both-
That's like a B tier card if
Yeah.
you don't have Boba Fett leader.
Yep.
But like, you're doing so much damage the turn Boba comes out, and then this card just like clinches the
Just
game.
follows
for
it
you.
up right after that.
It's just like so consistent.
Yep. It all just synergizes together so well. And
I will
so
say
powerful.
its action ability is mostly forgotten on there, but
Yeah, it's
in
sneaky.
limited, in like draft and sealed, I've used it a bunch, and it's just comical. They're like, wait, what does it do?
Yeah.
And it's a
I'm
nice
excited
install.
to see what Jango Fett ends up being, because I
I
always
know.
forget that that's on the card, and then I read it again.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, Jango Fett leader, maybe.
Jango Fett, where?
He's been in the
All
set
right.
the whole time, hiding in the shadows.
All right,
Yeah,
next
the
up, we
Chimera.
got the Chimera. We've got an 8-cost space unit. It's an 8/7 Imperial vehicle. Capital ship was shielded. On attack, name a card. An opponent reveals their hand and discards a card with that name from it.
I know what Mike's putting. I'm not far from you.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
DDD.
3D is
unplayable.
an unplayable.
Yeah, this card's garbage.
It's not very good. It's really bad. I do think there's a space in which, in a control matchup, if you're playing yellow control, that you could play this on 8, get to go first next turn, and grab like an Avenger or Super Laser Blast or something from the other control deck, which feels pretty good. Other than that, it's probably just like really bad.
Yeah, but like, you're only ever playing this in the best of 3s in the sideboard when you know
Yeah.
what they can do to beat you at the end of the game.
Sure.
Maybe.
And even then, they just
this
kill
is
it.
probably not the way you want to win that game.
Yeah. No, I mean, they definitely just kill it. But you did steal an Avenger and swung for 8 before there.
Did you?
Well, I
Oh,
mean, depending.
for
Don't they
sure.
just
Depending.
like kill this right after you play it?
If
I
they
mean,
have
like, you-
Vanquish or something in hand, yeah.
You have to play this while they're tapped out, and then go first the next action or the next round, which is tough to do, I think.
Sure.
But
It's bad.
I don't know. Yeah, bad card. Are we? Is it D or is it unplayable?
And we had 3 Ds.
Yeah, okay, we had 3 Ds, I guess. For some reason, you guys like this card, but
No, it's not liking it.
Whoa,
I mean, it's
whoa,
still
whoa,
a
whoa.
shielded 8/7 unit. Like, the shield does matter, but
Have you
Okay.
ever dropped this in sealed or draft, Mike?
okay.
Come on.
In sealed or drafted is probably a lot
This
better
is-
than
That's a bomb, baby.
not
a lot better than Search Your
sealed
Feelings, but also
There we
you're
go.
probably dead before you get to play this, so it's a toss up.
It's not true. I'm literally running it in a sealed escalation league right now. It happens all the time. All right, we got 2 more. We've got an event, everybody. I had no choice. Yellow villain costs 7. Choose up to 2 non-leader units. An opponent chooses one of those units. Return that unit to its owner's hand and put the other on the bottom of its owner's deck.
Can't wait for a spicy take here.
All right.
S tier.
2 Ds, 2 unplayables.
I almost put D
I guess
because I was
Jay-
playing it.
Yeah, Jay has played with this card the most, so if
I've
you
played
think
this
it's
card-
unplayable,
I played this card in a lot of Thrawn decks, and I think I've used it once in a way that like it actually helped me win the game. But it's very rare.
it's just so expensive for what it does.
Paying 7 to at least in paying 7 for it. Like if you're playing Jabba and this is a trick and you got Bib out there and you're playing 5 for it, then sure. In Christmas Miracle Dreamland, that's fine. But if you're paying 7 for this, you're not progressing your board state, and then they still have 7 resources to flood the board. Just feels bad.
This feels like a card like when they were balancing it, like they probably was very, very, very close to putting it to 6, but just couldn't quite do it. And it's like
Even with the idea of that, like you're playing Super Laser Blast on turn 8, like removing 2 units and then they flood the board again and playing Super Laser Blast, it still felt really bad.
Yeah.
Man, Yellow Villain not getting a lot of love on this cast.
No, except for
Fett's
Firespray.
Yeah,
Except for Fett's Firespray.
the best one. It's very polarized.
And Boba still dominates, yeah.
It's either the best cards or the worst cards.
Yeah.
Is this better or worse than Chimera?
I think worse.
I would
But-
agree it's worse because it's not an 8/7 shielded, just in case that matters. Like it doesn't help you win the game, it just helps you not lose the game.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Good point.
I think I'm putting it down here unless I get some strong reaction to doing so.
Looks good to me.
That's fine. Okay, guys.
I actually think Search Your Feelings is better than I Have No Choice.
All right,
Oh, wow.
I have no choice to put this as the last card.
Let's okay.
For now.
All right, guys, we've been waiting this whole video for this moment. Galactic Ambition, 7-cost villain event. Play a non-hero unit from your hand for free. Sounds great. Deal damage to your base equal to its cost.
I have a tough time with this one, actually.
I think we're all gonna agree on this one, and I'm excited about it. Oh no.
S plus.
Yeah, S
Oh,
plus.
no.
I'm cooking.
Here we
something
go.
up. Let him cook. Let him cook.
Mike,
One D.
what are you
it's D.
doing?
I've
It is
seen
not D.
I've seen this in
Iden.
yeah, in Maddie from KTOD from his Iden deck, and I trust.
Are
his
you like a
take
Maddie
on
super
Iden.
fan?
Yeah,
Huge
are you not?
I love me some Matty Ice,
I mean, the
bro.
stash alone
I love
is
me
worth
some
it.
Matty
I
Ice.
agree. The stash alone.
Yeah. I think it's okay as like a mirror card if you're control versus control. Like you don't care about your life total anyway sometimes, and if that means that you get to play your Devastator first, then maybe it's worth it.
Mike, be honest. Is Matt in the room with you right now?
Blink twice if you need help.
How many times you've
Quiet.
mentioned him? I'm just saying.
Well,
He's a
we've
good
been
player,
talking
dude.
a lot about Iden.
Yeah.
But like 10 damage is crazy.
All right, look.
Yeah, but like
This
you're at
card
30
gets
probably,
good
or close to
To
Whenever-
save 3. That's crazy.
Whenever we have the ability to either put shields on our base,
Oh yeah, that
or
would be
play
crazy.
a card that's like take no damage on your base for the rest of the phase or something like that.
Then this becomes
Then this
busted.
Or
card gets really good.
Destiny Force Illusion, like you discard cards from the top of your deck for each
Oh, yeah.
damage
It's like-
or whatever.
Yeah, something
Even
along
with
those
that,
lines.
you're still having to have all of these pieces in your hand. So it's like we're just.
Well, you only
using
need 2
Zodiac
cards
at
in your
this
hand.
point.
You need this, and
Magical
like if you're
Christmas
dropping
Land.
Relentless here, like if you're doing this to drop Relentless like 3 turns early,
Yeah.
like against control, like if you're in a control mirror and that's your plan, that sounds like a pretty good plan to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Like who cares if you
I
take
feel
9?
like-
Like you
what-
probably don't take, like you
This
probably haven't taken that much
entire
damage in the
episode has been
game.
Control versus control.
I
Man.
feel like our
a
roles
lot
have
of the
been
villain
reversed.
cards are that way though. Like a lot
Mike
of the
is
villain
usually
cards
the
are-
rational one on this cast saying, "What are you talking about? This is nonsense. No, that's
Yeah.
never happening." And like, how is it, Mike?
I've been
like,
playing against control a
the
lot.
dreamer over here.
Because I've been playing against
The
Jay
three
a
of
lot. And
us
Jay's
like,
been
what
playing
is
a lot of
happening?
control.
Don't ruin Christmas for Mike.
Uh, All right, so unplayable.
It's also the first hyperfoil that I opened, so
Yes,
Who
unplayable.
gave Mike control of
Fine.
the tier list?
fine. But I'm putting it
Dare you
above
put it
these
at the
guys.
top?
There's no way.
No way.
Absolutely
I'm at least,
no
I'm at
way.
least putting it
No.
above. I have no choice.
Oh my
I'm fine
gosh.
with that. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with
We're gonna take away your Canva privileges.
You'll get your account back in a week. Okay.
that. That's hilarious.
It's beautiful.
He's been grounded.
Oh my
This
word.
is a pretty,
Oh my
this is a
gosh.
pretty sweet list.
What's so
Yeah,
funny
what are we
is like
thinking?
his argument for Chimera is like, oh, then they just play Vanquish. It's like you deal 10 to your base to play Devastator, and they just play Vanquish.
No, they don't play Vanquish because you play Relentless, not Devastator.
There you go. That's much
Okay.
better than
Yeah.
Devastator. You said Devastator.
Yeah. First I said Devastator, and then I said Relentless.
Playing Relentless with Galactic Ambition is
Relentless, I'm
probably
okay
way
with.
better.
But wait, you're saving 2 resources for that. I don't know.
Yeah, but
I
it means you get to
don't
play it
know.
2 turns early.
But you also have
No.
Bib Fortuna out there, so you're playing it for 6.
There you go. Nailed it.
I can't with y'all.
All right. Any observations? My thing is a lot of green villain towards the top.
Yep.
True.
And Blue Villain
True.
had a couple bangers too.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty well distributed.
It
I
is
think-
pretty wild how much just Fett's Firespray,
Yeah, excuse.
like
yellow.
how much boba, yeah, in the meta right now, just all the boba, just
Yeah.
one card.
And it's like Fett's, it's not even close, right? So like Fett's Firespray is like up here, and then the next S is like,
Yeah, here.
in my
I'll-
opinion, way down
yeah,
here.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Let me
I would
let me
agree
move
with
them
that.
real quick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go. There we go.
Still sitting at the table, but like barely.
Yeah, yeah. Amazing.
I think I'm happy with this list.
Yeah, I dig it.
Yeah,
I think so too.
Lots of very
Yeah.
cool villain cards. Even if they're lower on the tier list, it doesn't mean that they don't have a place. A Galactic Ambition. So I think this is good.
I'm never letting you live this down, Mike. This is ridiculous.
I can't wait for the day when I get to beat you with Galactic Ambition.
Set
Relentless.
6 when it's finally good before rotation. Let's go.
I'm interested to see on the hero side if it matches like the number correlation. Like if we have a couple S tier, 5 A tier, or if hero is in lockstep with villain or not. I feel like normally in these games, villain always tends to be a little bit further because villain pushes the win condition better than heroes. But I don't know about
I don't think
this
that's
game.
true in this game. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of control things. In
How many heroes do we see in the top 8 of that tournament?
oh.
Just saying.
Okay.
How much control did we see in the top 8 of that tournament?
There we go. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's wrap this thing up, guys. Thanks so much for tuning into our tier list. Be sure to let us know in the comments how bad Mike is wrong, and hop in our Discord for more chatter about all these cards. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Justice for Mike.
Bye.